Why the hell not? 44 seconds left. Who's counting? Wasted Water Sports crew, ahoy. How's everybody doing? Muzzle Flash, ahoy. Raven 187, ahoy. Welcome along. Back for another game of rugby. Oh, boy. I'm still so excited. We nailed that four-leg multi in the All Blacks France game. What can we come up with here? Okay, well, here's what I decided. Because for those who were here for said All Blacks France game, you'll know that I was debating finalizing the fourth leg. The fourth leg. I had Van der Merwe, I had Korobete, I had Hugh Jones. I was just finalizing the final leg and deciding what I wanted to do there. I've decided that I was going to play it safe and go Lions halftime lead. Now, that's boosted me up to something in the region of $11. I'll tell you exactly. Why sort of guesstimate when I can tell you exactly just by opening my phone here? And I can tell you that that has boosted me up to $16.72 to the dollar. $16.72 to the dollar for this four-legger. And I'm feeling like it's pretty bloody good. So add that on top of the $9 something four-legger that we had in the All Blacks France game. This could be a very, very profitable night here for the Wasted World of Sports. But we'll see. I mean, I'm pretty sure that my man, Duhan van der Merwe, will come through. Love him. One of my favorite players. Marika Korobete, yeah, somebody from the Australian New Zealand. Remember, if anyone was there for that stream, All Blacks France, I was contemplating Brendan Pangaromosa. That one might come back to bite me. Let's see. Keep an eye on that chat room. I was contemplating Pangaromosa. I've ended up going with Korobete. If Pangaromosa gets a try, I'll be giving myself a fair dinkum uppercut. Because sometimes you've just got to trust your gut instinct. And, look, yeah. I have a big gut. That's a lot to trust. So... just take him as a single, says Pierce. Oh, no, but I don't want it. Yeah, I don't want to have too many bets going on. You know what I mean? And Pangaromosa as a single is... Pangaromosa single anytime try scorer is $3. So, yeah, I'm not really willing to outlay. I mean, for me, I'd have to put like $100 on that to make it worthwhile. And yeah, I'm not willing to throw $100 on a single try scorer bet, to be honest. Josh on TikTok says, is there a market for Korobete to get a yellow card? Oh, god damn, I love that. I love that. I wish there was, because if there was, I'd be all over that. I'd be all over that. He might get a try, and that would be very nice for me if he gets a try. But yeah, Korobete and yellow cards, it's a thing, isn't it? I feel like there should be. There should be a market for that. If there's not a bookmaker that's offering markets for will such and such receive a yellow card, I feel like there should be. So we are about 5 minutes roughly away from kickoff. I don't know how many. I don't know how much pre-game shenanigans are going to go on for this one. Time will tell on that. Will there be anthems and all that sort of bollocks? Probably not. I mean, what do you do for an Australia-New Zealand Invitational 15, right? Like, I suppose you play both anthems. Hopefully there's not too much rigmarole and we get straight into the contest. I mean, that would be nice for a goddamn change, wouldn't it? So we'll see. So that's what I've ended up with anyways. Van der Merwe, Korobete, Hugh Jones, and the Lions to lead at halftime. I mean, that's safe, surely. The trouble with the rugby union, like we do the rugby league multis all the time, and I feel a lot safer having 4 try scorer legs in a rugby league multi. Okay, well, I'll tell you what this jersey reminds me of. So the question was asked in the previous stream, All Blacks versus France. The question was asked, what were my thoughts on the Australia-New Zealand Invitational 15 jersey? It looks, excuse me, it looks like, I'll tell you exactly what it looks like. It looks like, does anyone remember those rugby challenge games on PlayStation? Probably on Xbox as well. But yeah, there was the rugby challenge games, and they didn't have the proper licensing. And because they didn't have the proper licensing, there was just like made up jerseys for the countries. It looks like the jersey for a sports game that doesn't have the correct licensing for Australia. That's what it looks like. There's no relevancy at all to an Australia-New Zealand Invitational 15. There's no relevancy at all in this jersey to the New Zealand side of that partnership. Yeah, it looks like a really cheap. They probably did it with AI, to be honest. I think it's an AI jersey design. It seems like graphics for a video game that has no licensing. Pierce says it looks like a referee's kit. Exactly. Yeah, that's the old school. That is the old school referee's kit. Exactly. Although maybe the old school referee's kit, I think, was the darker green on top. But yeah, and there was no white, but I definitely know what you mean. There was 100% a referee's kit back in the Andre Watson era that was similar to this design. 100%. Yep. I am completely on board with that. Oh, dear God. What's happening in the NRL? The Cowboys are winning 8-0 over the Bulldogs is what's happening in the NRL. Jennifer. The All Blacks demolished France in the earlier game. But right now we are ready for the British and Irish Lions tour to continue. It is their last warm-up game before the proper test matches. It is their last chance to have a hit out before they come up against the Wallabies. Kickoff should be now because, I mean, it's 8 o'clock and that's the time they said kickoff would be. But the teams are coming out onto the field. And kickoff will not be far away here. British and Irish Lions against the Australia-New Zealand Invitational 15, which is actually... Okay, Aiden Ross, Penga Ramosa, Tumunga Allen, Angus Blythe. Decent team, really. Pete Samu. Holy crap. Pete Samu's playing number 7. Well, that's immense. Pierce says, are the Bulldogs sliding and the Riff are climbing? Well, Penrith were always going to climb up the ladder. It was ridiculous. Anybody who was writing Penrith off with all the injuries and suspensions that they've had up until now, it was crazy to write off the Panthers. They were always going to finish in the top 8. They were always going to climb at the back end of the season. But anyway, I digress. Ollie is the best. Ahoy, mate. Ready for kickoff. British and Irish Lions, their final hit out before the test match proper. And they've got us underway. And it's AUNZ. How would I say this quickly? I'll just call them the Invitational. the Australia-New Zealand Invitational 15, and they've immediately spread the ball wide to the left, the Invitational inside their 22, and they've come up with the first error of the match. David Havili has spilt it in contact, and the Lions will have a scrum 22 out from the Invitational line. An opportunity early, perhaps, for one of my try scorers there to get themselves across the line. Our first scrum of the game. Gaz Johnson, ahoy, mates. As this scrum will go down 22 metres out from the line, a minute into the contest. An early opportunity here for the Lions. As I said, free kick. The scrum doesn't even engage. They tap and go quickly. Ben White sends it into midfield for Tui Polotu. Staying on that left edge. Here's Byrne. Staying short side. Over on the left again. Cut out pass. Hits the chest of Van der Merwe, who angles back in field. Has the ball ripped away. And knock on. So ball handling, an issue for both teams early on. And it'll be a scrum down invitational feet. I don't know what else to call them. The AUNZ. I'm not going to say the AUNZ every single time. I think it just rolls off the tongue a little bit more if I say the invitational. I think we can all agree on that, right? Or ANZ. I could call them ANZ, like the bank. The Anzacs, Raven 187. Probably what they should have been called. The AUNZ 15 Invitational. They probably should have just called them the Anzacs. That's a good call, Raven. Rugby Australia should hire you as the marketing manager. As they win the scrum here, do the Anzacs. Box kick here, upfield from Fakatava. And it's loose in behind the lines here as they have to scramble back for it. It's a hell of a clearance. And up to halfway. This kick to go high. Contestable for Hansen. Balls for the Lions. And they've got numbers to the right. Here's Jones stepping back in field. One of my try scorers. But into midfield now. Byrne feeds it on. The Anzacs calling for troops over on the right edge defense. The Lions are numbered up to the left. Tui Polotu goes on to Smith. Finn Smith lays it back as he goes into contact. They're inside the 22 here, the Lions, putting pressure on. Tui Polotu wants it on the right, but now he goes back short side. Cut out pass for Hansen, who dummies. And a great legs tackle there from AJ Lamb. Takes him into touch. Beautiful defense from AJ Lamb. 3.5 minutes in, no score. And the Anzacs will have the... And I love it. I do. It's what it should have been called. The Anzacs with the line-out throw. In their own red zone, though, it will be defensive. And they've secured the ball. Pangaromosa goes quick with the throw. Told to use it now. And Fakatava with the box kick. Not a lot of distance on it. Not a lot of angle on it. And into touch. 30 out from their own line. The Lions will have this throw into the line-out. It rolls off the tongue nicely indeed, Raven. Yes, so much better than the AUNZ Invitational 15. Lions go to the middle of the line-out, and it's secured. Cowan Dickey receives it on the rebound. They're 40 metres out from the try line here, the Lions. 5 minutes gone, no score. It goes back to Finn Smith in midfield. Sends this one high, and it's way too deep. An easy mark inside the 22. Who's taken that? Tate Edmund, the fly half. Who now clears it upfield, up over halfway. Gets good purchase on that. AUNZ is what they're calling them on the television broadcast. I prefer Anzacs. We're going to keep calling them Anzacs, I think. Line out throw here for the Lions, though, on halfway, or just their side of halfway. Anyways, with 5.5 minutes gone. No score in this one. Cowan Dickey goes to the back. Anzacs compete, but it's there for the Lions. Breaking away off the back is Pollock. Just inside the opposition territory now. White controls it at the back, puts the box kick up, and it's play on. Intercepted here from the Lions. Raven says apparently the Oz government regulates the use of the term Anzacs. Well, that would make sense, as the Anzacs have cleared into touch, but out on the full. So it'll come back for a Lions throw, and they go quickly. Van der Merwe is going to score down the left flank. The Lions went quick from the line out. Van der Merwe down the left flank, goes over untouched for the first try and the first tick off our multi. And much like the All Blacks game, that sort of came out of nowhere. It was a trick play from the All Blacks at line-out time, took us all by surprise. And here the Lions have gone quick into the line-out. And a nice little pop pass up to Van der Merwe. Scores the try untouched. Tick number 1 off the multi. And the Lions are up 5-0. Kick to come. Have yourself a nice cold beer, Van der Merwe. Oh, a beast, a legend. I love him. As I've said, outside of New Zealand, one of my favourite players is Duhan Van der Merwe. Finn Smith with the conversion attempt here to make it 7-0. Pushes this horribly off to the right. That's not going over the posts if there's 4 posts side by side in a row. That's not even a point from behind in AFL. That was a shocker. Van der Merwe gets us our first tick off this multi. Brando, ahoy mates. Welcome along. Fingers crossed for another multi here tonight as Edmund gets us back underway. Lions have it inside their own 22, excuse me. Hakari Mutu says put Butterfingers Barrett on. He could have qualified for this Anzac Invitational team. As this kick goes upfield, finally touch on halfway. The Lions up 5-0. But it will be an ANZ line-out throw on halfway. Now that I know there's like government regulation around the term Anzacs, it's like I feel bad using it. I feel like I'm actually not supposed to use it or allowed to use it. I'm a bit cautious now. I don't want to get myself sued. Lions still the line-out throw. Here they come now immediately to the right flank. Into opposition territory they go. And a penalty. A failure to release there. Who's that guilty on the ground? Get up, mate. Let's see your number. Oh, we didn't catch it. But not releasing there. Ah, number 13. Lumape. Not releasing. Made the tackle. Once you've made the tackle, of course, what are we supposed to do? Release. The tackler must release. Get to their feet and then play the ball. Line out throw here for the Lions in the red zone. They go to the front. Contested ball, but it's still there for them. Cowan Dickey wraps around the back. Hansen with the short ball. Penalty advantage here for the Lions. And straight up the middle goes Ben White, who scores under the posts. Boom! Just like that. Catches them napping around the ruck. And a little snipe from the scrum half, and he's in under the sticks. Oh, this is going to be a score, isn't it? This is going to be a score and a half by the end of this. Because they're doing it way too easy. They are doing this way too easy at the moment, the Lions. And I tell you what, if it continues to go this way, this is not really the hit out you want right before a test match. To be honest, I mean, you want a little bit of a tougher contest going into a big game. $12-0 as that conversion is successful from right under the sticks. And this is just domination at the moment. One-way traffic in the early goings. I mean, it's an invitational team, so it is what it is. You can't expect too much. They had no chance of winning. No chance. Let's be honest. An invitational team is never, ever, well, I can't say never. I suppose never say never, but you know what I'm trying to say. An invitational team that's just a slapped together bunch of players coming together for one match are not likely to beat an international touring squad, basically. But, geez, this has been atrocious to start the game. As Edmund now puts the kick in over the top. Nobody at home here for the Lions. They have to scramble back. Vandermerwe does scramble back and he bats it dead. He knocks the ball dead. And now Tane Edmund was going for a 50-22. So here's the situation right there. The Anzacs won the line-out throw. Tane Edmund put a kick in behind. Nobody was at home for the Lions. Vandermerwe, for some reason, rather than just accepting the 50-22 and having a line-out throw, he slid across the turf, conscious of the 50-22. And they've got the ball. Anyway, long story short, they've got the ball back, the Lions. And Edmund lets this one go into touch. And it will be an Anzacs line-out throw just outside the 22. Raven187 says, question, are you allowed to purposefully bench a player to try and get experience playing a man down? That's a great question. That is a fantastic question, as the Anzacs have this now in midfield. Edmund goes to the left. Out the back, nowhere to go. Easily defended here from the Lions. That is an interesting question. I know that... Oh, numbers to the right. Cut out pass now. Hits the chest of Lamb, who grubbers in behind the line. It sits up at the back, though, for Hugo Keenan, who's met well in big defense. Driven backwards now. The Lions have it 10 meters out. They're from their own line, that is. Defensive play, this is. Told to use it. Burns got it to the back, and here's Jack Morgan slotting in. Smith's kick is charged down. It's going to bounce just outside the 22. Anzac's ball. Edmund spots half a gap, but he's taken down by his opposite number. Fakatava tries to find some space down the short side. Still on here for the Anzacs. Stevenson pops the pass up. They're 22 meters out, looking to hit back. Ross still on the 22. Edmund back into midfield. Satutu drives it inside the red zone. Lions in over the top. Now they go to the right. Edmund goes out the back for Havili. Cut out pass to Lamb. AJ Lamb steps back in field. 10 meters out from the line. Pangaromosa. Oh, keep an eye on him. If he scores a try, God damn it, uppercut to my own face. Edmund with the short ball to Samu. Driven back in the tackle. It's still there for the Anzacs. Stevenson with the short ball, and they get tangled up there. Cause a case there for an obstruction. Crossfield kick looking for Marika Korobeti, but it's too heavy, and Mac Hansen claims the mark. He taps, goes quickly, clears it upfield, but not a lot of distance on it. The pressure will still be on here. Gina Ferracini, ahoy. John Michael, ahoy, mate. Raven187 says, AI says you can't deliberately play with 14 men. Yeah, there you go. I know that teams in the past have talked about, as Korombete on the crash ball loses it forward and the Lions come away with it. They look to counter-attack, but deciding to just clear into touch. 12 points to nil, they're up. It would be tempting, I'm sure, to start to treat this as an exhibition match, but realistically, they've got to go, this is a warm-up, our last warm-up before the test matches. So they've got to take this somewhat seriously. But yeah, it might have been Steve Hansen who said, we're in warm-up games, like in smaller contests, we didn't necessarily mind losing a player because it gave us that opportunity to test some of our training paddock methods with a player down. So as the Anzacs kick in over the top, but now breaking away as Hugh Jones puts the kick in over the top. Nobody at home for the Anzacs. It's a foot race. Stevenson versus Smith. Stevenson wins the race. He's back into his own end goal. He's got Edmund with him. And the clearing kick finds touch 15 or so meters out. It deflects off a Lion's hand, so it will be AUNZ throw. Hugh Jones, he could have gone on his own there and scored. That would have been great for my multi. Pangramosa throws to the back. Claimed by Salakaloto. Still inside their red zone here, though. The AI-generated, unlicensed Wallabies jersey team that also involves New Zealand. Fakatava with the box kick. Not a lot of distance on it. About 30 meters out, roughly, over on that far left edge. Line-out throw for the Lions. 12 points to nil, they lead. Cowan Dickey with the throw. Taking some time to get this one in. James Ryan takes it. To Ipolotu now to Vandermerwe. Pops it on for Keenan. Keenan's got Hansen out on the right flank, unmarked. Steps back inside Havili. Still going. Hansen. Flick pass out the back for Keenan. Keenan's half a meter out. They pile in now. Back in front of the post. Cowan Dickey. Penalty advantage to the Lions. Numbers galore out to the left. But Schumann goes on the crash ball. Now they send it left. To Ipolotu. The huge cutout pass. And over the try line, but held up. Some great scrambling defense from the Anzacs. And it's Henry Pollock out there on the left flank. Can't barrel over. And will come back for the penalty in midfield. $18 and a half gone. The Lions up 12 points to nil. And what do they decide here? The penalty is about 15 in from touch. And it looks like they're going to tap and go here. Cowan Dickey's got the ball. Breaks away, leaves it for the scrum half and into midfield for Ben Earl. Earl lays it back 5 meters out just to the left of post. Cowan Dickey tries to burrow under. Now they break away to the right. Hugo Keenan. Staying on the short side. Jones fights his way towards the line, but they drive him back. Well defended there by David Havili. The pick and go is the option as they head back towards the posts. 5 phases in, 6 phases now. A quarter of this contest gone. White sends it out into midfield. To Ipolotu, to Smith. Now an unmarked Van der Merwe strolls over for try number 2. Well, I should have just had Van der Merwe for 2 rather than putting anybody else in. Duhan Van der Merwe, the man, the myth, the legend. And he gets a double. His 3rd for the tour. The Lions are up 17-0 with the kick to come. Easy, easy draw and pass out to the left. You knew he was going to get 1, but here he is. Inside the opening 20 minutes, getting a double. Van der Merwe, he could end up with 3 or 4 tonight. 17-0 kick to come, and it's going to be a long old night for this AUNZ Invitational. As Smith moves in. Oh, that's a shocker. Okay, well, one thing is 100% sure. Finn Smith will not be the goal kicker when we get the actual test matches. Finn Smith will not be the goal kicker. He's missed another one. 17-0 it remains. "21 minutes, 15 seconds gone. The Anzacs get us back underway. Claimed by the Lions, and immediately they clear. They're not setting up a ruck. They're not setting up any sort of box kick. They immediately send it up over halfway. Dominant display so far. Pangaramosa sets up this throw. Goes to the middle. It is contested, but they bring it down through Selakai Loto. Penalty advantage here for the Anzacs. 2-2 on the crash ball. Now Fakatava goes left for Tumunga Allen. Staying on the short side. Harville, that's forward. But we'll come back for the penalty. A forward pass, that inside ball. But back for the penalty we go. 17-0. It's essentially an exhibition game, so there'll be no thought at all of the 3. Zedmond, the Waratahs fly half, marches over. They're going to put this into the corner. And here comes Pangaramosa into play. Remember, we talked about Pangaramosa and the opportunity for him to score a try. We contemplated him for the anytime try scorer. It's a little bit far out. Edmund didn't get enough connection on this. The lineout's about 15 out. They needed it closer. It's claimed by Shannon Frizzell. Out the back it goes. So 2-2. 10 meters from the line now. Penalty advantage again to the Anzacs. As they take it forward, a loose pass goes out the back for Edmund. He puts the kick up, a kick and hope, because they're coming back for the penalty anyway. And they'll try again. I should imagine they'll put this into the corner and they'll try again. Be right back. Well, the cheeky buggers, I thought they were going to put it into the corner and take the line out. The cheeky buggers, they tapped and went quickly. The Anzacs tapped and went quickly. I thought I had time for a toilet break. Apparently I didn't, because the TMO's now got involved to see if they grounded this. There's no excitement at all from the team, so seems like they've come up short or been held up on this crash ball. But still, they took us by surprise. Thought I had time for the toilet break. Nothing doing. Yeah, I think they're short here, the Anzacs. No toilet break for me, no. All right, Gina Ferricini, you're just gonna have to come into the studio, take over the hosting duties, whilst I go and have a toilet break. Then I get my break. Everybody wins. Anyways, we've come back for the initial infringement, which was a knock on after all that. And it will be a Lions scrum feed, 5 out from their own line. .24.5 minutes gone in the opening half, where I've got Lions as part of this multi, Lions with the halftime lead. The scrum sets. It's a big drive from the Lions. Earl brings it out from the back of the scrum. Breaks away. Goes on a good run. Catching the napping on the short side. Here's Vandermerve now going backwards. Now he straightens. Oh, big defense there from Tumunga Allen. Still there, though, for the Lions. And the box kick, the clearing kick from Ben White. Finds touch. Anzacs go quickly. Here's Corobetti. Back down the short side he goes. Has his legs taken out from under him. And the ball stolen away. Ripped away from Byrne, who puts it out on the full. Oh, he needed that infield. Line out throw here for the Anzacs. Sino, Zenon, ahoy mate. Captain Morgans. Oh, well, that didn't really work, did it? That didn't really work. Hang on, what about this one? I've got a full one right beside me. The captains. We always salute our captain. It is the Anzacs in possession. Fakatava's got it at the back of the ruck. And driving forward, Samu. Staying down the short side. Edmund dummies. Gets the arms free, and it's spilt forward by Angus Blythe. Spilt forward by Blythe. At the moment, it's a scrum down Lions, but let's have a look. TMO might want to get involved here. I don't know why, but we all know that they do love to get involved. The TMOs, the bunkers. Speaking of bunkers, what's happening in the NRL? Last I checked, the Bulldogs were getting beaten by the Cowboys. And now at halftime, the Bulldogs lead. There we go. Normal business has resumed. .27 minutes gone in this one. 17-0. The Lions, as I keep saying, their last hit out before the proper test matches. And they've got the scrum feed here. Over on the left edge, their own side of halfway. It sets. And it's a stalemate there, but, the Anzacs have popped up. And we'll have a reset. The scrum will go back down. I feel like they got away with one there, the Anzacs. I mean, obviously, I'm a long, long way away here from seeing what's going on in the scrum time, but I mean, geez, it's if your front row has popped up, there's only so much you can take away from it. They get the reset anyways, and I dare say that if they pop up again, the penalty will go to the Lions. Referee just wants to have a word here with both front rows. He wants, essentially, he wants a better hit. A better engagement. Better impact at scrum time. And it sets the Lions with the feed. And wouldn't you know, as soon as the referees had words, the scrum holds its own. Tui Pelotu, the short ball to Jones. Almost breaking away there, the Lions. Ben Earl bumps off one, takes it up to halfway. Oh, this is a huge drive from the Lions. Down the right-hand edge they go. Keenan swings back in field. Into the Anzacs territory they go. Finn Smith out the back for Jones. Jones dummies, takes the line on, and it's a clean line break for Jones. Oh, he's got no support running with him. Carries it inside the 22 for quick ruck ball, though. Hanson dummies. Flex the pass up for Sherman, who loses it over the sideline. Oh, the try was on. The try has gone begging. And I think it was Will Stewart. In fact, I've blamed Schumann, but it was Will Stewart. The Lions have just completely ballsed one up here. The try line wide open. 17-0 it remains. Scrum down here for the All Blacks. They wish. Scrum down here for the Anzacs. They bloody wish they were the All Blacks right about now. Five meters out from their own line, a defensive scrum with 10 minutes to go till the halftime break. So the Lions' halftime lead is looking pretty secure. I might be happy to tick that one off. The way this is going is Fakatava doesn't even get a chance to feed the scrum. It's a free kick gone to the Anzacs. Edmund finds touch. It's only, he doesn't find touch. Keeps it in field. Remember, it's a free kick. So not finding touch, not necessarily a big issue. Would have been a Lions throw anyway. But here they go. Smith goes out the back. Tui Pelotu spins in contact by Koroibete. Still there for the Lions. Short side for Pollock. Back inside for Jones. Pops it back for Smith. And it's a loose pass into midfield that's been spilt. Very scrappy play from the Lions. I mean, safe to say they won't be happy with this so far. I mean, they're getting worse throughout the course of this half. They're getting, they're getting worse. They should be getting better, of course, as time goes on. With 8 minutes to go until the halftime break, 17 points to 0. It's obviously a comfortable enough lead. I mean, I'm happy to tick off the Lions' halftime lead on my same game multi there. As this scrum goes down, Fakatava feeds it. It collapses. Referee says, I don't give a crap. Play on. Edmund steps off the left boot, takes it up towards halfway. The pick and go from Samu. Oh, Shannon Frizzell it is, sorry. Salika Loto. To Fakatava now, who steps, gives it off to Edmund. They're on halfway here, the Anzacs. Box kick from Fakatava in behind the line. Oh, well scooped up there at the back by the Lions, who now clear back upfield. And Sean Stevenson now looking for a 50-22, but it sits up for Van der Merwe at the back. Has an eternity now to clear it. And considering the time that he had, not a good kick. Seven minutes left until halftime. Van der Merwe finds touch, but still inside the Lions' own half. Can the Anzacs come up with some points before the break? Just throw the ball around. This is what I say about barbarian teams, about invitational teams. Just toss the ball around. I mean, it doesn't matter. Who cares? You got nothing to lose. Throw the ball around 7 style. Fiji 7 style. See what happens. Into midfield here with 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Fakatava. Lions are in over the top of this, but a nice clean out from the Anzacs. Left they go for Edmund. Out the back for Havili. And now the little grubber kick in behind the line from Stevenson. Dived on by Keenan. And it's there for the Lions. They set it up inside, just inside their own 22. And they want a better angle here on the exit. 15 back in field they go. And digging it out is Ben White. Sets up the box kick. Sends it deep upfield. Clearing kick up over halfway. Stevenson takes it on the full, in touch. Thinks about going quickly. But that is a nice turnaround from the Lions. 6 minutes to go to the break. Anzacs throw their own side of halfway. One-way traffic here. Panganamosa with the throw. Slowly but surely. There he goes. Throws to the front. Taken down. And play on as Edmund now with the cross-field kick. Sends it high. Contestable ball. The Anzacs chase through. And it sits up here for Lamape. Crash ball. Salakai Loto. Oh, time off. He's gone straight over the top of Cowan Dickey. And Cowan Dickey is out cold. Oh, Cowan Dickey's not moved. He's out cold. Prone on the ground. And the referee was straight onto that. Straight onto that dangerous position for the Lions hooker. Cowan Dickey goes low on Salakai Loto. And he is out cold before he hits the deck. Gets the head right in front of the knees. A knee straight to the side of the face. And Cowan Dickey's been folded in half. And he is out cold before he even hits the deck. Yeah, that was a nasty one. That was unintentional. Unintentional. But that was a nasty one. Cowan Dickey out cold before he even hit the turf. Miles over there on TikTok. Ahoy, mate. How are you, Miles? We are going to have a substantial injury timeout here. Here comes the Medicab, electriccarts.com.au. And this will be Cowan Dickey, stretch it off the field. Medicabbed off the field. And that will surely be his night done for the Lions. Yeah, they'll be going to the reserves bench here 5 minutes before the halftime break, a little bit earlier than expected. And that was a particularly nasty one there for Cowan Dickey. Yeah, that was not good. That was not good. Got his head in the wrong position, basically. There was no malice, nothing in it whatsoever. Cowan Dickey just got his head in the wrong spot there. 2 front on, too low, 2 front on. Knee right to the side of the face. Game over. Game over. The poor dude. And yeah, we'll have a substantial injury time off here. They've got to be so careful about these sorts of injuries, obviously. 5 minutes to go till the halftime break. We've got, well, 2 ticks off the multi, essentially. 2 ticks off the multi. Van der Merwe with the first try. And Lions to have the halftime lead. Looking very, very likely at the moment. I mean, with 4 minutes left to play, there's surely... We can go ahead and put a tick on that, I think. As we've got this downtime, a very, very big injury stoppage for Luke Cowan-Dickie, who is still down on the field. They haven't even stretched him off yet. The Medicab's there. They haven't taken him off yet. They're obviously being very, very careful with removing him from the field. Springboks are playing Italy, I do believe. Second test. The Springboks winning the first test. And I dare say they'll win the second one as well. No offense to Italy. No offense at all to Italy, but they're just not on the same planet as the Springboks. Yeah, it's really as simple as that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put a tick there on my multi for the Lions to lead at halftime. 4 minutes to go to the break. There is no plausible way they can leak 3 tries in 4 minutes to lose that lead. So I'm going to go ahead and put a tick on that one, as we still have an injury stoppage here. So for those maybe just joining, Luke Cowan-Dickie, the hooker for the Lions, went in low into contact on Salakai Loto, popped a knee to the head. He was 2 front on, unintentional, 2 front on. He was out cold before he hit the deck, and he is now being stretched off, and I still don't think he's come to. Very, very nasty scenes. I mean, sometimes you see the player on the Medicab give a thumbs up to the crowd. He has not moved, Cowan-Dickie. That's very, very nasty scenes, and obviously we hope all the best for him as he is stretched off the field. Yeah, you normally see the little thumbs up. Nothing from him. He hasn't moved. That's very, very concerning signs. 4 minutes to go till the halftime break. It is a scrum down for the Anzacs. About 30 out from the line. Yeah, Cowan-Dickie has been stretched off the field, medicabbed off the fields. Fingers crossed for him. There's now numbers out to the left, but they keep it in tight in midfield to the Anzacs. Here they go. Situtu carries it just outside the 22. They've had their opportunities here. Stevenson. Into the red zone they go. Fakatava's got it at the back. And here is Salakai Loto. Back into midfield for Blythe. Angus Blythe lays it back. 3 minutes to go until the break. And Zach's ball. Havili to Situtu. The short ball goes out to the right, and that's where they stay. For Havili again. Well defended from the Lions. And they swarm Fakatava. Driving over the top of him. Still there for the Anzacs, though. 8 phases, but they've gone backwards. Edmund pops it out. Brazil spins in the tackle, but nowhere to go. Stolen by the Lions. Back it goes into the 22 for Hugo Keaton to thump it upfield. Lands it inside the 22. And Sean Stevenson keeps it in the field of play. Pressure on, though. Gives it to Havili in midfield to clear. Havili finds touch. Big kick from Havili. That is a monster. Havili from inside the 22 turns the Lions around back into their own half. And the line out will be 30 meters out from their own line here, the Lions. That was a hell of a kick from David Havili. And Cowan-Dickey off the field, obviously, with that potential neck issue and HIA. So Ronan Kelleher takes over the hooker duties, goes to the middle, uncontested ball. Back for Finn Smith inside the 22. Keeps it in the field of play. Stevenson takes it, gets away from the first kick chase. Stevenson pops it out to nobody, but it bounces nicely for Laumape. Back into the midfield and bumping off one, giving the ball to Pangaromosa, who almost spells it. He's done well to hold on to it. Down the short side, Samu close to the sideline. Edmund doesn't have a chance to get the play because Samu's got a foot in touch. Inside the last minute before the break. $17 to 0. 2 ticks off the multi. So, Korobete and Jones. Jeez. Korobete's not had the ball in any space. He just hasn't had the ball in space at all. Hugh Jones, he's had a couple of line-bending runs, so I'm feeling a bit better about Hugh Jones than I am Korobete at the moment. But anyway, 20 seconds to go until the halftime break. Pangaromosa will have the line-out throw here, just inside Lions territory. Uncontested in the middle, and the rolling maul is set. Can the Anzacs get something before the halftime break? Pangaromosa's got it at the back. Still marching forward. Now he breaks away. And big contact, forcing him backwards. Edmund keeps the ball alive for Havili. Havili's caught with the ball on halfway. The Lions now pouring over the top, but it's still there for Fakatava. The cutout pass down the left for Salakailoto. He's got Frizzell running with him. Ball batted back by the Lions and carried into touch. That will be the halftime break. It's officially a tick. Fundamerva and the Lions head-to-head at halftime. We're halfway there. 4-leg multi-success in the All Blacks France game. And we're halfway there in this one. Oh, Korobete is just not getting involved at all, though. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about my chances of this one. I really don't. Anyway, who knows? Could be a completely different game in the second half. 17 points to 0. I've got to say, though, the Lions, this is their last hit out, their last warm-up before the test match proper against the Wallabies. I don't know that they'll be overall too happy with how things have gone so far. So, yeah, this second half is going to be really, really interesting. I mean, obviously, a makeshift Invitational Anzacs team, you don't expect too much out of them, but for the Lions, their last hit out of the tour, yeah, I feel like I personally anyway was expecting a little bit more. Still, 17 points to 0. It's been a largely dominant display. They've had a lot of tackling practice. Defensively, they've held their line intact, so they won't be too upset. I just feel like they could be happier. 17-0 at the halftime break. Halfway through the hey, Alana, how are you? Alana Ferguson. Halfway through the multi, halfway through this game. We'll be back for the second half here on the Waste of Water Sports. Yes, Wasted World of Sports crew. Welcome back. Half time here, 17 points to 0 in favor of the Lions. Yeah, I mean, look, it's convincing enough at the moment, isn't it? Blastoise, Argentina versus England predictions. Oh, God. You know what? I really honestly thought that I thought Argentina, it was there for the taking, wasn't it? Against an England team, obviously missing all their Lions players. Now, I can't speak for the strength of Argentina's team. Club rugby is obviously still going on and whatnot. So I don't know if Argentina themselves were full strength. All I know is in that first test, Argentina went in very, very heavy favorites. I just wonder if they can get the job done. Sometimes Argentina, they're just such a disappointing team sometimes, aren't they? Wayne Stretch, ahoy, mates. 17 points to 0 here at the break. Not a whole lot to say about that one, really, the first half of this game. We're halfway through our same game multi after successfully getting a 4-leg multi in the All Blacks France game. I feel like it's still a goer. I'm a bit concerned about Corumbete. Corumbete really hasn't been getting involved at all. And but Hugh Jones, I'm feeling okay with. So we'll see. Second half coming up after this. So I'm gonna, we've got a big weekend here on the Wasted Water Sports coming up. I will also endeavour to do the Springboks versus Italy game, and we're also covering the entirety of AEW All In tomorrow morning. So it's going to be a huge weekend of action here on the Wasted Water Sports. So with that in mind, I am going to try and stay as low key as possible for this halftime break. We'll have ourselves another quick break, and but when we come back, second half to get underway. Hopefully. The plan. All right. Waste to Water Sports crew. Thank you so much for being with us here as this night of rugby action continues. All Blacks France nailed a 4-leg multi. And here we are, halftime, halfway through this multi. Very nervous about this one, though. Conombeti. Ooh, I reckon. Okay, I'm going to throw this one out here. Hugh Jones, I'm pretty confident Hugh Jones scores a try. Conombeti, I'm a little bit concerned about. I would be a little... The Anzacs, the Invitational 15, I mean, they need to throw caution to the wind, basically. Treat it like it's a sevens game. It's an exhibition match. Who cares if they win or lose, or just throw caution to the wind, toss the ball around. Who gives a bollocks, honestly? This game, for them, means absolutely nothing, but they could at least just go out and try and put on a show, if you know what I mean. This has a lot more ramifications for the Lions. I mean, there should be no pressure at all on this invitational team. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to remember this one way or the other. But for the Lions, this is their last hit out. I think they just need to put everything to bed, forget about everything, and just go out and throw the ball around. And here we are, a halftime chat with the invitational coach. Here he is. Oh, my God. They weren't lying to me. Ian Foster, the AUNZ Invitational 15 assistant coach. So who's the head coach? Richard Speed. Ahoy, mates. Does AUNZ look like they're going to make a comeback? Not based on that first half. Not based on that first half at all. Blastoise says, got to at least try to score. That's the objective of the bloody sport, right? As the teams are coming out here for the second half, and yes, funnily enough, scoring points is indeed the overall point of this. So we'll see. Can they come up with some points in the second half? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that'd be my halftime speech. If I were the coach of this invitational team, I'd say, look, lads, who gives a crap, right? Who cares? Really, this is an exhibition game. Ultimately, let's go out there and have some fun. Just toss the ball around like... There was too much in that first half. Like, it felt like they were trying to play a structured test match. Just toss the ball around. Who bloody cares? You got nothing to lose. Tania Godwin says head coach for the Lions is Ian Foster. No, well, it just said that was the assistant coach, Ian Foster. They were just talking to him at halftime, and it popped up on the screen, and it said assistant coach. So I don't know who the head coach is. And so the Lions break away from the kickoff, but then they spill the ball forwards. Stephen Marks says took AUNZ at plus 13.5. I'm in trouble here. Les Kiss is the head coach. There you go. Les Kiss is the head coach. Ian Foster is the assistant coach. That's a hell of a coaching staff for a team that's got no points in 40 minutes of rugby, even if it is a slapped together invitational team. That's a hell of a coaching squad to have no points on the board. Les Kiss and Ian Foster. The scrum goes down. Fakatava's got it at the back. Sends it into midfield. Edmund changes direction here for AJ Lamb. Fakatava goes again. The 2-2. Dummies. Well defended here from the Lions. Told to use it now. 30 out in front of the posts. Shannon Frizzell goes out the back for Edmund. Half a gap opened up, but it closed up just as quickly. The Lions' defense can't be broken at the moment. Back to the left they go. Edmund with the short ball. 6 phases, and they've made no yardage. And a loose pass goes out the back. Hugh Jones puts toe to it. It's a foot race now. Mac Hansen just needs the bounce. He doesn't get it. He goes to ground to collect it, Mac Hansen. But it's the Lions now with the front foot ball inside the red zone. Schumann gets it back to Finsmith, who dummy spins away from contact. 5 meters out. Lined up to the left here, the Lions. Here's Pollock. Dummies, and yeah, of course, takes it in on his own. Penalty advantage now, as the Anzacs have not retreated, and that's a horrible pass. Sits up for Tui Pelotu, who can't get the ball free. So they'll come back for the penalty, and yeah, this is all a bit scrappy. Exhibition game, it essentially may be. Invitational team, it might be that they're up against, but geez, some of this has been really poor from the Lions. They tap and go now. Tui Pelotu steps back in field and scores. Wow. The only Tui Pelotu steps off the right foot through a huge gap, and wow, that's just really poor. That's just really poor. 22 points to 0, the kick to come, and this was just way too easy. 2 passes out from the tap from the penalty, and under the sticks goes Tui Pelotu. Gosh, that was poor defense. DJ Shack, ahoy, mates. DJ Shack says, I don't know what it is about rugby players, but the amount of budgie smugglers I've seen today from pants pimple down in contact is crazy. Well, I, for one, am not complaining. Some very, very fit bodies out there. Drowsy, ahoy, mates. Is Argentina much better than the teams that the Lions played, or are the recent results of good strategical change? Great question. Fantastic question. Look, obviously, Argentina got the Lions at the perfect time. Their very first hit out coming together as a team. So the Lions have just gradually improved throughout the course of the tour, as you would expect. Argentina copped the Lions the first time that they ever set foot together as a unit. So it was a really, really tough first encounter for the Lions. I don't know if that necessarily answers your question exactly, but Argentina are obviously better than these teams. Yes, in that respect. And it was a hell of a first hit out. Even if Argentina weren't full strength, I don't know if they were or not, because I didn't actually catch that game. But yes, I would dare say an international team involved in Sansa is a much tougher prospect than Super Rugby clubs, which is what the Lions have come against here in Australia. Penalty advantage here for the Anzacs. Henry Pollock caught offside. And they come back for that penalty. No advantage played. 40 meters out from the line. They can put this into the corner and potentially launch an attack. Edmund with the touch finder. Time off here. Has anyone got an update on poor old Luke Cowan-Dickie? DJ Shaq, anything come out about that? Poor fella. Knocked out cold. He's attacking line-out throw here. Eklund goes to the back. Taken down by the Anzacs. Here's Sututu to Sean Stevenson, wrapping around the back. 22 metres out here in the red zone. Into midfield for Salakai Loto. And now Fakatava snipes around the ruck. Gives it back in field for Sututu. His second carry. Fakatava again. It's the Fakatava Sututu show at the moment. Penalty advantage here for the Anzacs. It's loose out the back. McLaughlin Phillips straightens. 10 metres out from the line here, just to the left of post. And a no-look flick pass back inside from Fakatava has gone about 72 metres forward. I'm not even joking. He did a no-look flick pass back inside that almost went over the dead ball line, but they were, of course, playing under penalty advantage. Tania Godwin says Lions have 8 Kiwi players in the squad. Hey now. Don't dream it's over. Expats, of course, they're perfectly entitled to represent other countries. Tap and go. Salakai Loto, 5 metres out, picked up and driven backwards. Drowsy says Luke Cowan-Dickie injury update. Shortly after the break, Cowan-Dickie was seen walking and rejoining his Lions teammates. Fantastic. Very good news, because that looked nasty. That looked very nasty. So very glad to hear that as Edmund taps this ball on for McLaughlin Phillips. 15 out from the line here, the Anzacs. Stevenson steps back in field. Brazil settles things down here just to the left of the post. 7 phases. Havili onto Ross. Through the hands now. Edmund dummies. The double pump goes for Samu. Samu almost breaks through. Samu 10 metres out. Here's Edmund now with some front foot ball. He's got support from Campbell, who steps back in field. 5 metres out. Fakatava. Short ball for Sututu, who runs behind his own player. Penalty to the Lions here for obstruction. They were just starting to look good there, the Anzacs. Ahoy, David. How are you, mate? David T. Bit late to the party, not going well for the home team. Hey, David, I was on the side of it being absolutely no problem, I just want to say. I just want to say, in case it wasn't clear, when I said expats, I was on the side of it being absolutely fine for them to play for their newly selected countries. But yes, nice to have you along again, David. Very much appreciate the kind words. As the Lions take the line-out throw and secure the penalty. Jumping across there was Shannon Frizzell. At line-out time, penalty to the Lions. Oh, God. So, we got a 4-legger in the All Blacks France game. Don't know about Corambetti. Is Corambetti even still on the field? No, he's not. So Corambetti hasn't even come out for the second half. So that multi is done. That multi is done and dusted. The return of Mariko Corambetti lasted 43 minutes as the Lions go to the middle of the line out, and it's loose ball. Might have been lost forward here, but the Anzacs drive over the top, and it is indeed called a knock on. Well, this is just a little bit scrappy. The Lions will not be happy with this at all. Honestly, this is their last hit out before the test matches. And even though they lead 24 points to nil, it's been a little bit shambolic, to be brutally honest. Not been a great performance. I mean, they're better than their opponents, of course, but the scrum sets. Fakatava feeds. It collapses on the near side. And the referee says we'll have a reset. He doesn't want to make that call just yet. So, yeah, with Koroibete off the field, this multi is basically shot to pieces. And that's what I get for putting one of the AUNZ Invitational in the bloody thing to begin with, to be honest. "51 minutes gone." David says, am I right in saying the Aussie boys and New Zealand lads only together a week? Oh, geez. Couple of days, probably more likely. No, I think a week's probably fair. But obviously, yes, a slap together team. Barbarian-style Invitational 15. They were never going to win. And that's what I mean. That's what I was saying at halftime. Like, the halftime speech should have just been like, look, lads, we've got nothing to lose here. This is a team halfway through their tour. We've had 3 days together. Just go out there. Let's just go out there and have some fun. Like, who cares? This has no impact on us whatsoever. No impact on our reputations. No impact on anything. Let's just go out there and have some fun. Let's play some sevens rugby. You know, if we somehow come back and get the win, it tarnishes them. But if we get belted by 50, no one's going to remember. That would have been my halftime speech. Now that might be a terrible halftime speech. Penalty here to the Anzacs. 53.5 minutes gone. And yeah, this is just a very, very scrappy old contest here. It's disintegrated into Edmund with the touch finder from the penalty. Just short of halfway. And, oh. God. Empty. Haha. Full. Eklund with the throw. Goes to the front. The Lions compete, but it's there for the Anzacs. Into midfield. Havili, dummies. Takes the line on. And the ball is stripped away by Jack Morgan. Down the short side now, the Lions attack. A forward pass is called. Oh, they were away. Ben White was in for a double. A forward pass, though. And again, just another example there of a lack of execution from the Lions. Oh, that's a harsh call. If that pass is called forward, that's pretty harsh. That might be a rough call, that one, in my opinion. But anyway, the call is what it is, and it's a scrum down now for the Anzacs. That is a rough call, in my opinion. DJ Shaq, what do you reckon, mate? I thought that was, wow. That, in my opinion, was a rough call. That was seeing the replay, that was a beautiful pass. Anyway, 24-0 it is to the Lions. Scrum down here for AUNZ. Thomas feeds it in. They bring it out now, and the clearing kick is sent upfield. Sits up on the 22 for Van der Merwe, who runs it back into contact, gives it off to Keenan. Keenan on to Hansen, who steps back infield. Heading sideways here, sideways. But it's there for the Lions, 10 short of halfway. And back for the clearing kick. It's Marcus Smith, Filipino heat. Our boy. Edmund is back for the clearing kick, sends it into touch inside the Lions half. But our boy, the Filipino heat, he's on Marcus Smith. Look at him, the stud. All right. He's fighting for his position here because Finn Smith was not brilliant. The throw goes to the back of the line out. Here's Pollock, the short ball. As the Lions take it up to halfway. Ben White at the back with the box kick. Chasing through is that Hansen putting pressure on. Takes the ball. Lost forward by Pollock as he comes through to try and collect it. And another mistake and another scrum down here for the Anzacs. But yes, there's an opportunity here for Marcus Smith. Like if he comes through and dominates this final quarter, Finn Russell and Finn Smith, neither one of them have really taken that fly half jersey by the scruff of the neck. This is the final hit up, the final warm up. He could really, really stake a claim for that opening test spot. The Filipino heat, Marcus Smith. The scrum will go down. Invitational feed. 20 minutes left to play, and it has been a little bit of a dire old game. Like, you kind of want, like, as a big, big shove here from the Lions. Penalty advantage, though, to the Anzacs. Illegally stepping around. So my concern, from a coaching perspective, my concern would be the Lions dropping off. Like, 17-0 is not a huge margin against anybody. 24-0 is not a massive margin, still with 20 minutes to play. Like, if this game's not against the All Blacks, but 24 points to nil up with 22 minutes left to play against the All Blacks, you're not feeling safe, are you? I mean, you know the All Blacks could, as unlikely as it might be, could come back from 24-0 down in the final 22 minutes to steal the game and break your hearts. So it's a little bit disconcerting, I suppose, for a coaching staff that the team hasn't kept up the intensity. They've dropped off after 17-0 early and dropped off. 24-0 and they've dropped off. Like, these opportunities that they've presented to this invitational team, you can't necessarily do that in a test match. As this is nice work to win the turnover by the Lions. And a penalty at the breakdown. Who was that in over the top? It was probably Jack Morgan. It was surely Jack Morgan. But yeah, I, as a coaching staff, I would be a little bit concerned, to be honest, at how they've dropped off. But, you know, look. There you go. David T. I'm sorry. Okay, so David, I'm half Irish. I should know how to pronounce Irish last names. David Tighe, David T. Anyway, you know all about All Black comebacks. I still remember that game, the All Blacks coming back and watching the broadcast, and you can actually hear the moment that the All Blacks score that game equalizing try. The headset smashing to the ground in the commentary box. I don't know who threw it, but I still very specifically remember that. The sound of the headset slamming into the ground from the commentary team. Oh, DJ Shack, totally with you, mate. Completely with you. DJ Shack has said you do have to keep in mind the British and Irish Lions have yet to name the same team in consecutive weeks. Absolutely, of course. I'm talking more in terms of the individual players. Like you don't want to see individuals drop off. Like State of Origin on Wednesday night, New South Wales were just never in the game. They didn't have the same passion. Like, for me, I don't care that this is a warm-up game. I want to see test match level passion from the individuals as barging onto this ball and charging over the line. Is that, who's that? Cummins. Scott Cummins from the interchange bench charging onto this ball as if it's minute 1 of a test match. That's what you like to see. He couldn't have gone on the burst onto that ball at a better time just to prove my point. Scott Cummins charges over from 5 meters out, and the Lions go up 29-0. Kick to come from right beside the post. Conversion successful from Filipino Heat. 31 points to 0. Now it's looking a very convincing scoreline. Now they can drop 31-0. I'm cool with that. They can drop off now. Who cares? I'm only joking, of course. I'm only mucking around, having a laugh. I don't really think that. No, you never want to see your team drop off. You never want any drop off in intensity. You want to see your team put the opposition to the sword. Lions secure the short kickoff. Now numbers out to the left. It starts to open up. But Hugo Keenan straightens the attack. Takes it up to halfway. Still there for the Lions. What's going on in the NRL at the moment? Oh, full time. 12 points to 8. The Bulldogs got the win, but it was not convincing. Kick goes in over the top. Lions player taken out. Penalty to the Lions. What do the Lions do here? They put it into the corner. Line out is secure in midfield. Or middle of the line out, rather. My bad. Penalty advantage now to the Lions. Anzac's in from the side. Back it goes for Farrell. Through the hands now, Keenan to Van der Merwe. And Van der Merwe gets 3. The man, the myth, the legend, Duhan Van der Merwe, a third try. 36 points to 0. Okay, now it is really, really starting to open up. Forget about it now. 36-0, kick to come. We couldn't go back-to-back with our multis, huh? A successful 4-legger in the All Blacks France game. Went into half-time with 2 of 4 legs ticked off in this one. But with no Marika Koroibete taken off in the 43rd minute, it was never happening anyway. Filipino Heat brings this one back around, hits the upright, and bounces away. It stays 36 points to 0. Wow. Wow. Isn't it amazing? Like, in the span of what, 7 or 8 minutes, we've been talking about how the Lions won't necessarily be happy to like sheer domination of the scoreboard. And now the referee's having some words with the Anzac captain there. He just said been far too many penalties, presumably. Presumably, far too many penalties here. And, I mean, if this is correct, this statistic on the screen, let me refresh that. Because I'm struggling to understand how that could possibly be correct. How could the Anzacs, 36 points to 0, they are behind. How could they possibly have 61% territory? None of that makes any sense. I think that is broken. It can't possibly be. Is down the short side. Go the Lions. Powering on to the end of this game. Can they keep the Anzac Invitational scoreless? Looking pretty bloody likely at the moment. As this kick through in behind for Van der Merwe. Doesn't stay in the field of play. If it did, it was game on. Waste of World of Sports. We got more action coming up, of course. Springboks taking on Italy later tonight. As the Anzacs win this one at the middle of the line out. Uncontested ball. 67 minutes gone. 36-0. Wow. DJ Shack says you'd think that referee Andrea Piatti is close to going to the pocket if he's giving the Anzac 15 captain a talking to from that point of the field. Yes. Nigel Sevior says the Lions will never be satisfied. They're getting the strength in the last stages of the game. This is good. Yeah, very good. I dare say they'll be a bit happier now. 36-0, I think they'll be much happier than... But if that statistic is right, I'm struggling to understand how that statistic could possibly be right. 61%. That's got to be wrong. They'll be concerned if that is correct, though. 61% territory as a penalty here to the Lions. There's no plausible way that's correct. I think that screen's broken. To be honest, I think that screen's just broken. That can't be right. There is no plausible way that the Anzacs have 61% territorial advantage. Unless that means 61% of the game has been down their end of the field, but I don't think that's what it's meant to represent. I don't think that's the way it's meant to be. But anyway, I digress. Lions secure the line-out throw. They've got a penalty advantage. The little grubber kick in behind the line from Farrell is scooped up by Edmund. And this will be it. The yellow card's coming out now. Yellow card is out, and it is for... Is that Shannon Frizzell? I think it might be Shannon Frizzell. It's a yellow card anyway for the Anzacs. And it is indeed Shannon Frizzell. They've gone quickly, the Lions, and barging over is Ronan Kelleher. Ronan Kelleher scores. And they've got another one. 41-0 kick to come. Ronan Kelleher scores on the left flank. They've gone quickly at line-out time again, not for the first time tonight. Kelleher scores. One-way traffic Lions 41-0 with the kick to come from out wide. Conversion unsuccessful from Filipino Heat. And it's 41 points to nil. It remains. This is unreal. The way that it's just blown out. Back underway. They go deep with the restart. Taking it just outside their own 22. Told to use it now. Ben White still on the field, puts this box kick up. Contestable ball. Vandermover bats it back. Bats it back for Pollock. Pollock has his shirt ripped up over his head as he lays it back. Still there for the Lions. Told to use it again. White has another go. A little bit heavier with the box kick this time. Taken by the Anzacs. McLaughlin Phillips dancing around his own side of halfway with absolutely nowhere to go. Down the short side. Still there for them, though, the Anzacs. Running out of options. Back into midfield. 9 minutes to go. Can they get some points on the board? Havili fends off one, beats another. Straight up the middle, Havili. Tackled on halfway. Short ball, and it opens up now. A nice break for Fusitua. Brings it down the short side for Dyer. Onto Stevenson, who is tackled into touch. They ran out of space. The crowd was getting excited for a minute there, but that was it. Broken field play. David Havili just keeping the ball alive through the hands. They just ran out of space. Line out throw here for the Lions. 7 minutes left to play. Kelleher goes to the middle. Lions take it down. Morgan has been immense tonight. Breaks away from the back, and he's got Van der Flair with him. Inside their own 22 here, the Lions. Told to use it. White sets up the clearing kick. Thumps this one upfield. Sends it into touch. Anzacs will surely think about going quickly. No, they don't. They hold on to it. It'll be a throw in here on halfway for the Anzacs. 5.5 minutes left in the bin for Shannon Frizzell. As that's a skew throw. I think they're happy to just let this one play on. Edmund kicks for some reason. Kicks it too heavy. It's bobbled in the 22 and lost backwards by Van der Flair. Play on, though. And he almost breaks through now on the counter-attack. 41 points to 0 down with 6 minutes to play in an exhibition match. Straight through goes Hansen. A desperation ankle tap there by Lumape. Turns out to be a try saver. Marcus Smith now with the kick through. Claimed on halfway for the Anzacs. But honestly, 6 minutes to go in an exhibition game and you've got the ball. Why are you kicking the ball away? Hansen now kicks it into touch, and that's fine because they lead 41-0. I don't mind the Lions kicking the ball away. Who cares into open space? They're up 41 points. But The Anzacs have the ball on halfway, 41 points to 0 down with 6 minutes to play, and they kick the ball like it should have been a regulation catch for Van der Fleer in the 22 to call mark and have a simple, what's the point of even showing up if that's what they're going to do? Is the point that I guess I'm getting at. Disappointing. Havili secures that loose line-out ball. They're inside their own 22. Now, Edmund, on it goes. And again, they kick. There's no point at all in kicking the ball. It presents the Lions a great little contested training session to counterattack. The more that the AUNZ Invitational kick this ball away, the better it is for a Lions training run, and the worse it's going to be for the Wallabies. Marcus Smith now down the right flank for Farrell. Kicks it in behind, looking for Pollock. Pollock chasing through. Pressure on Edmund. The ball is loose out the back. Pollock's claiming the try. But I think this has been grounded by McLaughlin Phillips. No cohesion, no communication at all from the Anzacs. Oh, God, he hasn't grounded it, McLaughlin Phillips. He's tried to scoop it up. McLaughlin Phillips here has tried to scoop this ball up, and Pollock's grounded it. You are kidding me. McLaughlin Phillips, rather than just diving on the loose ball, saving face, has tried to scoop it up, and Pollock has reached around and grounded it. I've now officially seen it all. Try has been awarded. Pollock has stolen one here for the Lions. McLaughlin Phillips, just dive on it, mate. Save face. Live to fight another play. What is he even trying to scoop that ball up for? What was scooping that ball up, even going to salvage in that situation? And Pollock has stolen a try. Wow. And no wonder there is a hush around this stadium. What benefit at all did he have for trying to pick that ball up? As Filipino Heat, Marcus Smith, he's left his kicking boots at home tonight, but he has put this one over to make it 48 points to 0. Marcus Smith, the Filipino Heat. The Anzacs go short with the restart, and it's been lost. First knock on by the Lions. Second one, Anzacs. 3.5 minutes to play. 48 points to 0. E.B. Williams, ahoy, mates. I love how the Filipino Heat name is just stuck for Marcus Smith. It's funny, all this time, he's been one of my favorite players. I had no idea that he was half Filipino. Scrum down here for the Anzacs. Penalty, Lions. A penalty to the Lions with 2.5 left to play. Player unbound at scrum. There is something seriously broken with this statistics screen, by the way, as the line-out throw goes over the top. Anzacs will get one last crack at it here. Stevenson sends it out to the left for Lumape. And now McLaughlin Phillips spills the ball, and Mac Hansen comes away with it. He spills the ball on halfway. Double knock on, no advantage. Lions with the scrum feed. 48 points to nil, a minute and a half to go. Seb Watson, ahoy, mate. Marika Korombete, yes, he let me down. 43 minutes he lasted. Good for him. That's 43 minutes. That's that's 43 minutes more than I could have lasted out there. But then, you know, who expects me to go out there and last at all? E.B. Williams says All Blacks looked great in the first half. I used to play rugby, DJ Shaq. Yeah, a long time ago, obviously. Yeah, a long time ago. But yeah, I have played in my lifetime competitively rugby league, rugby union, tennis, baseball, and cricket. So I have told this story a few times on stream, so I do apologize for those that may have heard it before. But in rugby union, well, rugby league, I played rugby league first. That was my first sport. And in rugby league, I was hooker, or dummy half. Dummy half, we called it. It must have been something with the school. The school probably didn't like us using the term hooker. So dummy half. I played dummy half. Then when I switched to rugby union, because I had like monstrous legs. I've always been a bike rider, so I've always had like really fit legs. No, even in my fattest state, I've had really, really solid fit legs because I've always done bike riding. So I had a hell of a boot on me when I first started playing rugby union. Just because of my boot alone, I started fly half. But they realized, okay, as I got older and things got a bit more serious, old mate here doesn't have the speed to play fly half. So they shifted me out to inside center. And then they went, okay, this lad doesn't have the speed or flexibility for inside center. I shifted to outside center. Okay, this bloke's just a big, strong lad. We're going to move him into the forwards. So I started playing blindside flanker so that I could get in amongst the rough stuff. And then they realized, okay, he doesn't really have the pace for blindside flanker either, but he's a big, strong unit. Let's put him in the front row. Basically, the long story short, DJ Shaq, is I just started to get bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger and slower, and I got further and further in field until eventually I was playing hooker in rugby union as well. So I just got bigger and stronger and slower and further infield I went until I was once again. So basically, my rugby league union journey went from hooker to hooker. The full-time siren sounds, and Tui Pelotu takes it up here for the Lions. 48 points to nil. Can they get 50? Mitchell with the short ball, the crash ball for Cummings. Can Cummings get a double? No, he can't. The pick and go. Pete Samu burrows in to try and get the turnover. Cut out pass for Tui Pelotu. No one to pass to. He goes to ground, 5 out. Mitchell digs it out. The crash ball here for the Lions. 9 phases. Siren has sounded. They want 50. Crash ball for Schumann. The ball spills forward, and the Anzacs come away with it. Knock on by the Lions, and the referee says that'll be enough. 48 points to 0. The Lions in their final hit out before the test matches. Now, the coaching staff must go away and figure out their best 15 because the Wallabies await. $48 points to 0. E.B. Williams says in the wide shots, Tava Tavanawai legit looked like a giant shadow. Man, honestly, when Tava Tavanawai first came out onto the field tonight, wearing the number 22. Number 22 is traditionally, obviously, a reserves number for a backline player. But when he first came out onto the field, and I only saw him from the rear, I only saw him from the back. 22, and I went, "This is a substitute front rower, right?" And then I looked on my team sheet, and I'm like, 22 is Tava Tavanawai. Okay. 22 is not a front rower, but yeah, an absolute beast. Tava Tavanawai is a big dude. Long story short. 48 points to 0. CJ Dunn, yeah, that was pretty bad. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we have to respect the fact that this team was on a hiding to nothing, and that's why I'm a little bit surprised. I'm a little bit surprised at just the lack of just toss the ball around. Do you know what I mean? Just throw the ball around like this. Nobody loses anything. What's the word? Nobody loses any clout by just going out there and playing a sevens style footy. This team was on a hiding to nothing. They were brought together. It's an invitational 15. It's an exhibition game. It is an exhibition match. I feel like they took it a little too seriously, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I would have expected a little bit more. Who gives a bollocks? Let's throw the ball around and see what happens. They seemed to be trying to structure play too much. And without combinations, without connection, without training, without drills, connection's not going to come. I don't understand really what we saw. And even like 70 minutes into the game, there was like 10 minutes to go at one point there. 10 minutes to go and you're down by 41 points. And the fly half gets the ball on halfway and kicks down into the opposition 20. Why? 41 points down with 10 minutes left to play. Why are we kicking the ball away? Just toss it around. So, yeah, it was a bit weird. It was a little bit weird. The whole thing was a bit odd to me in that respect. Anyways, hey, Waste of World of Sports. I dare say I've got to have myself a little bit of a break because we have got, honestly, Christ almighty, we've got a huge rest of the weekend coming up. So, not only is my plan at the moment to be back 10, 11, 12, 1. I've got to count on my fingers. Sorry, I'm really, really stupid. I've got to count on my fingers. So it's 10 o'clock for me right now, 11, 12, 1. Not only am I planning on being back in 3 hours' time for the Springboks versus Italy, but on top of that, in 5 hours' time, Jace is going to be joining me here live in the studio, and we will be covering AEW All In because for shits and giggles, we're going to cover some professional wrestling. Why not? Why not? I used to love professional wrestling when I was a kid. Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter, all of that. So yeah, we're going to cover some AEW All In and now that's at 5 o'clock in the morning my time. So basically, I'm pulling an all-nighter. Essentially, is what's happening. I'm pulling an all-nighter here on the Waste of Water Sports. So we got that coming up. But yeah, a few hours' time. We've got a little bit of a break. Springboks versus Italy, and then straight into the wrestling there. AEW All In live from Texas. And there's some rugby league tomorrow. Potentially. I mean, if I'm still alive, we'll look at Warriors versus Tigers at 2 p.m. my time. Eels versus Panthers. Titans, Broncos, who cares about that? But yeah, Eels, Panthers should be a good one. So anyways, long story short, we've got some good stuff coming up here on the Waste of Water Sports. I've got to try and, I've got a decision to make, basically. Do I try and stay up now for the Springboks game, or do I catch a power nap? Slam in a power nap for a couple of hours and then try and stay up for the rest of the night. But that's a me problem. That's a me problem. But that's the plan anyway. We'll be back in a few hours. Springboks versus Italy. And then immediately following that game, AEW All In. We'll have a little bit of fun and cover some professional wrestling. Thank you so much for your company here for this one. We nailed the 4-leg multi in the All Blacks France game. Unfortunately, well and truly short in this one. But 48 points to nil. The Lions. What a hit out it was for them before the test match proper. Thank you so much. And I'll catch you guys next time. Yes, until then. Cheers.